Hi again then guys, and welcome to another instalment of Leash the Beast. And for any who are perhaps new to this series, basically what we do here is we take a vehicle which is typically known for being challenging or difficult to drive, usually in terms of handling, and then we tune it in such a way that we bring it under control to allow you to actually use these difficult cars and to have fun with them and potentially even race them and drive them to victory. So, as I said in the initial episode, as it were, of this series, the best way, I believe, to really bring a car under control is to tune it in such a way that it can cope with having all of the power and none of the weight. So basically, fully tune it, and if you can make it handle itself under that circumstance, then having it at a lower PP will only be easier. So, in this particular build, we're taking one of the most notoriously difficult handling cars, the classic Lancia Stratos, and we are bringing it under control. Now, as I said in the initial episode for this with the Olam Spira, to some degree, the handling characteristics are always still there. So I'm not saying that this is turned from being difficult to super easy, beginner friendly, it just makes it better. So, I've gone for sports softs because they're kind of a middle ground as far as upgrading the tyres. You want your race brakes, of course. For the suspension, we've got the ride height as low as possible to reduce body roll. Springs we've increased to 575 and 850. The dampers to 4, anti-roll to 5. Now, as far as camber, I like to keep it as minimal as possible because camber's kind of the easy way out as far as control, and it doesn't really solve the core issue. Whereas if you can make a car under control or bring it under control without using a ton of camber, to me that will always be the ideal scenario. So we've got 1 degree of camber on the back, 1.5 on the front. You can increase that though if you see fit. We've got neutral toe. For the gearbox, it doesn't matter at all. This is purely a handling tune, so just go for whatever you want on there. For the diff, I've got the initial torque as high as possible, acceleration and braking as low as possible. As far as the power, obviously just build it to whatever level you need. This is purely a control tune, so you don't need to copy that at all. And as far as the weight, the exact same thing. I've taken it as low as possible, but just do whatever you want. 450 pp, 500 pp, whatever. But that's it overall for the control tune. Primarily, of course, to do with the diff and the suspension to bring it under control. So now let's take it out to a racetrack, specifically a Scari, to see what kind of change we've made. Now, it is very important to note that, as I said just now in the tuning aspect of this video, this car has not gone from being difficult to drive to being LMP level of competitiveness. Obviously, that would be ridiculous to claim. But the handling is far more controlled, and the main issue with this car is that the handling is unpredictable. Whereas now, as you can see, it does still get its tail out around corners, but it does it in a very, very predictable way. You know exactly when it's going to do it, and you can control it accordingly. And, in some circumstances, much like a vintage Grand Prix car, you can actually use that tail happiness to your advantage in certain corners. In effect, drifting where slowing down would be slower. So, if you do decide to use this control tune for the Stratos at whatever PP level you see fit, and of course, the less power you have, the easier it will be to drive, then obviously I hope you find it fun, and indeed competitive in racing. And this car certainly is a competitive vehicle. It's extremely quick, and this control tune, I really do hope, benefits those of you who would like to use this car on a more regular basis. So, if you do decide to use this tune, as I said, I hope you find it fun and competitive, and if you'd like to keep up with other builds like this in the future, be sure to hit subscribe down below for that. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.